Now, ladies and gentlemen, CSGO has a serious case problem, and while I actually think that's some sort of understatement. You see, every single month, the CSGO Market Forum on Reddit puts together a list of CSGO's most unboxed cases every single month. In the past, it was more important to learn about what cases sold best and were unboxed the most. When those said items dipped, buyers, but most importantly investors, would capitalize on that because in the past, it was proven to be successful, and still is today. Somewhere in between then and present day, the 3-cent case days were over, and right now, the 40-cent case days are now just the new normal. CSGO the past year has been setting new records monthly, with February of 2023 hitting an all-time high of case unboxings at 27 million. A lot of people thought that was due to Chinese New Year, which that definitely played a factor, but that's not the end of the story. March comes along and blows those numbers out of the water. 40 million total cases were unboxed, which is the highest in CSGO and maybe any other game. And it's definitely some of the most money any gaming company has ever made, and questions are arising by investors and just your everyday player. And in today's video, we're gonna break down and discuss those numbers and the questions some of you guys may have.
Now, today's video sponsor is, of course, SkinsMonkey. SkinsMonkey is currently the easiest and also fastest way you can buy, but most importantly, trade your CSGO skins. All you have to do is make sure you have your trade link, and on your first trade, if you have a leftover balance, it goes towards your current balance that can be used the next time you end up trading skins. It has 3 ways you can inspect, but most importantly has a very in-depth inspect feature that you can see corners on a karambit, for an example, that you can't really see otherwise unless you have the item in-game. If you end up topping up your balance, make sure to use promo code MANDO to get up to a 35% deposit bonus and a free $5 on the first trade.
So I'm currently in the post edit, and there's a lot of questions on my channel and Twitter regarding Steam being down. You can't really send any trades, you can't send any messages, and anything relating to CSGO items is just down. Your favorite third-party sites to buy or sell items, possibly trade, are just not available and working at this moment. And in the past, this was usually fixed in the first 24 hours of something like this happening, due to an update or just Steam being down. But no, it's been like this for the past 3 to 5 days, and people are starting to get a little angry and questioning if this is done on purpose. I don't believe it is. I believe it's going to get fixed very soon. I'll have a video later out today explaining this problem and how to work around it. Back to the video. Following the hype of CS2, which is mainly only playable to 3% of CS players, and well, if you play Valorant, probably 10% of them. All jokes aside, with more people coming to the game, YouTubers, more streamers from other genres of games, their audience is following them, and just new average Joes, they're wanting to buy stickers, skins, knives, any tradable item, and most importantly, unboxed cases, which has risen the price of skins a whole lot. With there being a whole lot of information to go through, I'm gonna break this down into 4 sections in today's video. Number 1, why this has happened and if it's sustainable. Number 2, if investing into cases is a good idea, especially when they go down. Number 3, will 40 million cases be unboxed be the cap, or is that only gonna rise with the near future, especially with the CS2 release? And lastly, number 4, will Valve change how CSGO gets its case supply, because currently we're running out? So number 1, why has this happened and is it going to be sustainable for the future? Now, this is just my personal opinion, and from my experience in the CS market, a lot of this right now is just due to the hype of CSGO and transitioning into CS2. Though we do have to look at past previous numbers. It's no hidden secret that CS is getting more attention, especially when it comes to case unboxing. Though China does play a huge factor into CSGO and how prices are rising and have been the past 5 years, that can't be the only sole reason. And it's just simple. We're getting more people. Unboxing a gold is a pretty big addiction, and why it's rising prices, not just the knives but the cases, but also the skins inside, is because we have a very limited quantity of how many cases are available to the public. I believe right now most Prime accounts are limited to 2 drops a week, 1 to 2 really, and because we have more people wanting to unbox cases, those are dwindling in quantity, so the price has to rise to meet the supply and demand issue. Now, if it's going to be sustainable, it really all comes down to Valve if they want to change how we get drops in the future. But for right now, as long as nothing does change, cases are seeming to be a pretty safe investment, and a very good one at that. Number 2, is investing into cases a good idea, especially when they're down? Very short, simple, sweet answer, yes. Look at the most unboxed cases. This might be a little controversial, but investing into the Prime drop pool cases is a very large risk. Now, it has been proven to be very successful the past couple of months, especially with this release of CS2, the new wave of players coming in wanting to unbox cases, but how much longer is that going to last for, especially because we're probably going to have a gap from now until August of the full release. We also have the Paris Major, which could draw more people in, but also those people could go into those capsules to unbox them, right? If you have an opportunity to buy cases when they're down in the next few weeks that are retired, that are going to go up either way, those are the ones I would go into. Number 3, will 40 million cases unboxed be the cap for the future? The simple answer is no. I think this is just the beginning. You look at the Revolution case release, we hit an all-time high at 1.3 million players for that era, and that was just a case release that was a huge mess. One big major copyright issue with the op, yet people still love to unbox it and unbox others. The announcement of CS2 comes, only a handful of people can actually get into it, yet the hype has never been bigger. So the full release, when people actually have their hands on it, and hopefully it plays very good, I don't see why we couldn't hit 2 million players when it's available to everybody. And with those 2 million, I think we're going to blow 40 million out of the water. That's a pretty bold statement. That's just what I think. And lastly, easily number 4. Will Valve change how CSGO gets its case supply because we're running out? This one's also a little bit controversial, and one I don't feel like I can answer properly. A part of me wants to say yes, but you run into major issues if that does happen. Let's just say some of the player base dies off, doesn't want to play CS, people have, let's just say, 4 drops a week. That's doubling or tripling for some how many cases we're getting on the market. Now, would that really impact case prices? Short-term things, no, but the long-term, yes. Like we talked about, if players leave, cases are still unboxed, but not as much, cases are going to drop a significant amount in price. And I think that's something you should at least factor into when you're investing. You always got to look at all the possibilities, especially when it comes to CS, because anything can change with a moment's notice in the flick of a switch with Valve. For the time being, though, I don't see anything changing. We'll really just have to wait and see. Now, for 40 million cases being unboxed, the most popular ones are the new active duty ones. The Recoil, the Revolution, the Fracture, the Snakebite case, and the Clutch case are the most popular. I guess also the Prisma too. Now, reasonings for this, besides some of the newer cases like the Revolution, people are still trying to get those reds because they're insanely profitable, but the golds are what people are really going after. And the diehard case unboxers, that's what they want to get at the end of the day, is a pair of gloves or a really rare knife. Because if it is really rare, a lot of the time it pays for their losses and even some profit if they're extremely lucky. Now, I'm not saying you should go unbox cases, well, because you shouldn't. It's a very large gamble. Let me know what you guys think down below. This is pretty insane with everything happening. Do you see this coming to a close? Do you see Valve adding more cases to the drop pool? Feel free to leave your comment down below. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Stay positive, sexy. I'm out, guys. Peace.